Welcome to our Sweet Treats episode of the Co-op Cookin Show, powered by Arkansas Valley Electric. I'm your host, Emily Staten.
And I'm your guest host, Karen Stovall.
I hope you still have a sweet tooth, because today we're going to dive into all things candies, cakes, and cookies. So up first is our Rocky Road candy. Karen, do you want to tell us a little bit about where you got this recipe and where it came from?
I got this recipe from our church cookbook. It was the Apostolic Lighthouse in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. And Mary WISHON, this was her recipe. We always enjoyed going to her house. When my girls were little, we'd always go over and visit with her and her husband. And she would always come out with, you barely got to sit down and she would come out with Christmas
little
goodies.
candies?
Oh yeah. And we always knew it would be something really good and homemade when we went to their house. And this Rocky Road candy was one of the top.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to try them. I'm gonna let Karen drive for a lot of this because she's made them before and I haven't. But at first we're going to combine the chocolate chips, milk, vanilla, and butter in a saucepan, right?
Yes.
Over low heat. Okay. A full 12-ounce package of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And now a 14-ounce can of Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. Except we got the off-brand kind, so it's not actually Eagle brand. 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Are you a measure vanilla kind of girl, or you just measure with your heart?
I measure with my heart.
Me too.
Now we are going to heat over very low heat until the chocolate is melted.
Perfect. It's time to put it in the bowl. So up first is a cup and then 2/3 of a cup of peanuts. And then we're gonna do a full 10 ounces of marshmallows. Well, that's satisfying. Let's get our chocolate before it cools.
Yes.
Okay, hear me out. What if you put this on top of vanilla ice cream while this was still hot? I feel like that would be pretty good.
Oh, very good. Anything topped with vanilla ice cream.
You're right.
Gotta be good.
Very good.
Gotta be Bluebell.
Yes, of course. Gotta be the Bluebell. So Karen is wrapping up, getting it nice and even as it's spread out in the pan. But we are going to move it aside and let it get firm. Not refrigerate it, because that's what was her name, Mary? That's what Miss Mary said. Do not refrigerate. And then we will come back in a minute and taste test. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Perfect. So the Rocky Road candy is all set up, and we've cut a couple pieces to try. So I give it a go. I'm actually gonna make them smaller.
Oh yeah.
There's no pretty way to eat it, but it is so good.
Very good.
I was telling Karen earlier that my great grandma always makes these peanut clusters, and they taste so similar to the peanut clusters. The chocolate is just a little bit richer, and there's lots of marshmallows. Those are so good.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. On to the next one. Up next is Karen's mother-in-law's famous strawberry bread and strawberry glaze. And this is a really important recipe in Karen's family. She was kind of telling me about it. So important that now that her mother-in-law is no longer with them, they still hold the tradition of making it for every Christmas. And she even got her daughter a cutting board with the recipe on it.
My daughter carries on that tradition, and so after we have our Christmas and everybody's getting ready to go home, well, before they leave, not only do they pick up their gifts, they pick up their strawberry bread and their banana nut bread to take home.
To take home?
She would always In her later years, she got to where it was really a challenge for her to bake. She couldn't stand for long periods of time, and she always wanted to still have the bread. So her home health ladies that came in and helped take care of her, she taught them how to make the strawberry bread.
And then they could help her.
They could help her, and they could learn how to do it for their families, plus she could still have it to give for her family.
That is so sweet. That is so special. Okay, well, you want to give it a go?
Start, yes.
Okay, so we're going to add the flour to a bowl. Teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon.
2 cups of sugar. Mix well.
I'll give you a break on the mixing.
Yeah.
So, how long have you worked at Arkansas Valley, Karen?
6 years.
What do you think that your favorite part of your job is?
My favorite part of working in Arkansas Valley is getting to help the members.
I can see that.
And you know, when they call in, whatever their issue is, you know, being able to solve that for them and make it a good experience for them.
That's awesome. So we've got it mixed pretty well. And then in another bowl, we're going to combine the eggs, the oil, and the strawberries. So I think it said to beat the eggs. So we have 3 eggs. We're going to beat. Perfect. This was 2 cups of strawberries-ish. You measured with your heart?
Yes.
1 cup of oil. And we're gonna mix her up. Add dry ingredients, mixing well.
It smells good.
It does sound good. Karen brought these handy dandy mini loaf pans from home, and now everybody gets to have their own little loaf of strawberry bread. We're gonna spray it with the baking spray that includes flour.
We want it about half,
Halfway.
about halfway, and that way it gives it enough room for it to, because it will rise, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you do. I know that you work in member services.
Yes.
And you are a team lead, right?
Yes.
What does a daily life of Karen look like?
Any question, we have like 7 members or 7 member service representatives on our team. So any question that they might have that you know, that the member has asked them that maybe they're not familiar with, or maybe a question that they need to ask us to approve for them to do,
Yeah.
they come to us. Sometimes if they have, you know, told the member everything that they can tell them and the member is still not satisfied with that, then those calls get, you know, brought to us, and we, you know, work with the member until we can, you know, get them the answer that, you know, maybe not the answer they're looking for, but at least we can tell them, you know, what we can do
What
for
you
them.
can, yes. So a member service representative, just to clarify for those of you who may not know, their job duties include talking to members on a day-to-day basis, whether it be in the lobby, working the drive-through, talking to the members that come in, or may it be on the phones, the members that call into our office, because between 8 and 5 p.m., any person that calls into Arkansas Valley Electric will speak to a local person that is either on Karen's team or on the other team lead, Penny, on Penny's team. So I think that's something that's really cool. Whenever you call our office, it's always going to be one of our people that live here and are local, who are also probably members.
Yes.
She's very humble about it, but Karen was nominated or selected by her peers and co-workers to be Arkansas Valley Electric's 2023 Employee of the Year. And I think that that is a huge honor.
It is a very big honor. I would have never thought that would happen to me.
The strawberry cakes are cooled and they smell so delicious. I'm so excited. But now that means it's time to make the icing and ice them.
We're going to
Tell us what she wrote.
a dot of butter.
Yes.
Which is just a very small amount of butter.
Show us what that looks like. A dot.
A dot.
That's a dot. Okay. A cup of powdered sugar. And then, most importantly,
yes, our strawberry juice. Yes.
It wasn't measured. It didn't have an amount in her recipe, so we are just going to do it till Karen thinks it looks right. That looks so good. My favorite part, the taste test.
Well, maybe.
Maybe. I've never had anything quite like it, but the closest thing to it is banana bread. But it's strawberry, not banana.
Yes.
It's super sweet. It's really fluffy and really moist. I could see why your family loves it.
Yes. That's a family favorite.
Mm-hmm. I love the icing. I think that it adds a lot. And I think it's a part that I would be lazy on and skip. Mm-hmm. It's worth the extra time. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. On to the next one. Last but most certainly not least are our almond raspberry bars. And these bars were sent in to Arkansas Living by Abby Brunette in Kingston, and she submitted them into the 2023 Arkansas Living Christmas Cookie Contest and won the contest with them. We're going to give them a go. So up first is a cup of flour and then a 1/4 cup of brown sugar packed. And then how much butter?
1/3 cup.
Perfect. So we have got the ingredients nice and combined, and now we're going to attempt to get it in this parchment paper and then pack down to a nice layer. So now to the oven for 8 to 10 minutes or until very light brown. So up next, we are going to spread our raspberry jam onto the crust. So we've got the butter and sugar combined, and now we're going to add the cup of flour and 2 eggs. We are going to add this cookie mixture to the top of the fruit layer.
I think we're good.
Okay, so our raspberry almond bars have cooled, and we are going to whip up a little bit of icing and put on there to finish it off. Do you want to add the powdered sugar? So then the butter. You want to spread it?
Sure.
So put some almonds on there and press them, and then we'll let it sit. Dig in.
Yeah, very good. I can see why she won.
I can too. That is so good. Especially like, it's so moist to be a cookie bar. You can taste the layers.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah, I think that the raspberry adds a lot. I think that the two different kinds of like crust and then the, would you call it like a cookie on top or what? How'd you describe that?
It's like a complete cookie on top.
Yeah. And then the icing and then the crunchy nuts, like, whoa, that's impressive.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. And for the most part, other than maybe you wouldn't have the almonds on hand, but you would have most of the rest of the stuff on just an average weekend. Well, that was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. Thanks for cooking with us today.